but Shawn is the man. He's inside the Crusader program. I've come to know him very well over the years, met him in person. We had a great time at some events. He has just been crushing it recently. He's got some amazing things to share in regards to LinkedIn tonight. But with that being said, Shawn, man, tell us, a little bit about you, man.
Yeah, so I've been in the group for a while, kind of been lurking around. I don't go into Facebook too much. I try to stay off, but I actually came across Nick's Instagram profile back in May.
Yeah, everyone go follow at Nick D. Robbins on Instagram. I'm actually going to be coming. We got content. We got stuff going every single day. That was crazy, man. I got a story about that, but keep going, dude.
Yeah, so I'll talk about right before that, but I came across Nick's Instagram profile. He had a link there for his Crusader program, which at the time was kind of like in the beta stages. I think this was like in May or something. I just saw it, signed up instantly, never met you before. I saw a picture of you standing with Becker. That's about it. Went to your Instagram profile, signed up, met you in person in Austin, and that's kind of where things kicked off with the agency side of things for me. Before that, I was in e-commerce, and I think it was September 2016, I had quit my corporate job, got into e-commerce, generated close to $3 million on one of my stores that I sold off recently before getting into the agency side of things. And that was in the health space, was the e-commerce stores. And around March or so of this year, everything kind of went to shit. So my Facebook account got shut down. My personal profile got shut down. All of my ads got shut off. Facebook was still spending my money, and it was to the tune of maybe $1,000, $2,000 a day. So I was losing cash, and I didn't even have access to any of my ad accounts or anything. So this is a couple months before I actually came across your profile. I was serving a few clients in the health space, just helping them run their Facebook traffic based off of referrals. And I didn't know anything about cold outreach or anything before I met you. So once I came across your profile, really wanted to get out of just the e-commerce side of things and expand into the agency world. And things kind of just took off from there just a few months ago.
I love it, man. And the growth has been excellent, excellent. I want to make sure, guys, can you guys see us both okay? I was told that you guys couldn't see. I'm looking at the chat here. Can you guys see Shawn okay when he's talking? Do I need to go gallery? I thought I was on gallery view, but you should be able to see both of us. Let me know if you guys can see both of us before we move forward, because Shawn's actually been able to put together a little presentation for you guys here. We're going to talk about some quick tips or some hacks here on LinkedIn and how he's dominating and going up with stuff. But you guys see us all right? No, you can't see Shawn. It's not good. What's going on? What about now? Can you see Shawn? I don't know why we couldn't. Could you guys hear him? Let me know, Patrick or Dan. Let me know if you guys can see him all right. Man, usually I always got to love the tech stuff. Only my mug still? What's going on? What the hell?
Can they hear? I can see you. I can't see my face in it either.
Oh. Could you guys even hear Shawn? Let me know if you guys could hear Shawn. Yeah, I might have screwed that up.
Oh, good, man.
You can hear it. All right. So this is going to be fun. We're going to go. We're going to get to good stuff. I didn't press go live. I didn't even know I was going to be able to do that. All right. Some sweet technical difficulties. You gotta love that.
Oh, they can hear is what I'm seeing.
Yeah. So I didn't broadcast the meeting from Zoom. I just went live from my computer so they can hear you. So we can hear. But yikes. All right, we're gonna come right back. Shit, we just had the bot go out. Let's see here. All right, guys, we're gonna be right back. For all of you guys that are on, it's gonna be right back on. We'll have this thing going right back up in the chat here in a second. I gotta reboot this thing really quick. I made a mistake, so hold on. Shit, I haven't done that in a while.
This tech stuff is hard, man.
Yeah, I didn't even know I could fucking do that. No, I figured out what I did, but oh man.
Do you need anything?
No, I got it. I didn't.
Do you want your phone?
No, I'm good. Thanks. Whoops.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good. Perfect. Tell her not to. Okay. Good. She didn't send the bye yet. Perfect.
How do you like Zoom, by the way? I think I'm switching over.
I actually like it a lot. Normally, I don't know what's going on right now and why it's broken. I'm going to try this again.
You need me to hop off?
No, I don't think it's you. It's Zoom.
Okay.
I'm going to cancel live here. Yeah, it's definitely not you. Well, good times. Man. All right, let me restart this thing. What are you doing? All right. Okay, we're going to try this one more time. Connect.
Do it.
All right, we're going to be good this time.
Yep.
Yep.
Are we live?
Not yet, but we're about to be. All right. Just going to make the title real quick. All right, we're back. We should be good now. Guys, when you pop on, let me know. As long as you can see us both, I'm going to put us back in the gallery view. We should be all set here. Yep, I can see Shawn there. Yeah, so I made a little technical difficulties mistake here. Axel, what's going on? Nick, sorry about that, guys. We should be good to go now. Gotta love Zoom and technology and all that fun stuff. Just got a little too excited to talk about LinkedIn, forgot to press a couple buttons. Paul, Patrick, Adam, what's up, guys? Rocking and rolling. Okay, you guys can see Shawn, right? Everyone can see Shawn? Let me see. We got some. Yep, we're good. Everything's perfect. All right, so let's take a step back. Six-figure LinkedIn sales. We're going to talk about how Shawn is absolutely killing it right now. LinkedIn, how he's generating appointments, how he's grown. Shawn just gave us a little bit of a background, but with that being said, Shawn, let's just quickly reintroduce yourself. How you use LinkedIn. Is it your main force of advertising? And then we'll go ahead and jump into your presentation, man.
Yeah, so we use a mixture. We have a proprietary process using LinkedIn and cold email, but the way that we're using LinkedIn is more, by the time they get to email, it's more like a warm email. So the email always follows up what we're doing on LinkedIn, but yeah, it's definitely our main source of lead and appointment generation. And it's what we run as a core service for our clients.
I love it, man. And you're running as a core service to the clients. That's very interesting. There's so much opportunity in that as well. Because one of the things, guys, that we don't really, we take this for granted, but it's like there's so much opportunity in the lead gen space. So often we get zeroed in on, chiros, dentists, whatever. There's so much opportunity out there. People need business everywhere, and you can do things in crazy little niches and make so much money and so much cash thinking outside the box. So I think that's super awesome how you've been able to, build that out. And guys, so we're going to be going through dropping some stuff. So if you have questions, you have anything you want to find out, learn more about, Shawn, you're what, you've been able to gain a ton of new clients using this strategy over the last few months, right?
Yeah, in the last 2 months, that's kind of what the deck goes over. The last 2 months, we closed 13 deals.
Look at that. 13 new deals with this strategy. And he's here to share a little bit about it. Man, I love this community. I love this group. Shawn, I can't thank you enough for jumping in, giving back to everybody. This is so cool, man. I love it. I love it because there's so much opportunity for everybody. Guys, keep that in mind as well. Anyone who follows me, watches what I do, I share everything. Open book. But you know why? Because I believe in abundance and I believe in opportunity for everybody. And just say, if you guys want to come after, Kairos, the type of people we work with, let's go. Let's go toe to toe, baby. I'm in. Let's dominate. Let's have a battle. But there's seriously so much opportunity for everybody, right? So with that being said, man, Shawn, I'm gonna turn it over to you, man. If you want to pull up your screen, and then I'll probably just stop you at certain points, and let's just rock through this, dude.
Yep, let's do it. Let me hit the share screen here.
Also, guys, in the comments, as he's getting ready to do this, I want to know how many of you give me a 1 if you guys are using LinkedIn. If you guys are using it right now in your advertising and marketing. And if you guys like something that Shawn's saying, give it a like, get it a heart, let's get this out. Let's get it exciting, all that good stuff. But with all that being said, man, I'm going to turn it over to you here, Shawn.
All right. So I'm going to keep it simple here. We're going to talk about the exact 5 LinkedIn prospecting tactics that we use to generate 50 appointments and 13 closed deals in 2 months. So I created a full guide on this. So at the end, you guys can ask questions, whatever. I'll send you a link to the guide, Nick, once it's published. But awesome. I just threw everything into slides here, and I'll go through it right now. So basically what we're looking at is we want people to respond based on the system, the tactics that we covered today, being interested or curious in what you're offering, whether that's Facebook ads, Google AdWords, LinkedIn prospecting, whatever your service is, this can work for you as long as you have a good, quality service and you're not trying to rip people off, right? What we want is to have a full calendar for you guys. This system can generate you anywhere from 8 to 30 leads a month, 8 to 30 appointments with your ideal customer. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that here. So what we're going to cover is 5 different tactics. The first one is the profile makeover. So how to turn your profile into a high converting landing page. Most people treat it like a resume. If you're treating it like a resume, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. You want to treat it like a mini website, mini landing page. Number 2 is the perfect prospect list. So we're going to talk about manual and automated ways on how to build a list of 1,000 laser targeted leads for less than $150 a month. Number 3 is the automated connector. So I'm going to show you a tool that you can use to connect with 50 to 75 of your ideal customers every single day on autopilot. Number 4 is the content machine. So this tactic, we're going to talk about how to create content that generates demand, thought leadership, and a flood of inbound leads every single month. And then number 5 is the appointment generator. So this tactic is how to turn prospects and connections and interested leads, appointments, and high ticket sales opportunities.
Damn, I'm excited for this thing. That is a huge.
Yeah, let's do it.
I love it, dude. That's what's up. All right.
So industries this works for, and I promise this won't take too long. I made it pretty brief and concise. Industries this has worked for. Obviously, marketing and digital agencies, right? For ourselves, we run it as a service for ourselves, as well as these types of industries below. So B2B SaaS, that's actually our core target market is B2B SaaS companies. So our clients are B2B SaaS companies. We run it as a service for them. It also works for IT or managed service providers, training companies, consultants, coaches, anything that is B2B and high ticket product or service companies, this will work for you. Now, if you're a high ticket B2B company or agency with products and services that don't suck, this is going to work. It's basically just the process of opening the conversation and getting them on a call with yourself or someone on your sales team. Now, before starting, the most important thing is develop a crystal clear ideal customer profile. Now, we call it ICP. WTF is an ICP. This basically describes the most ideal companies that your organization, your agency, whatever can market and sell to. These are the companies that will get the most value out of what you have to offer. So you want to think about this, right? It's just like thinking about a niche. Same thing. Nick always talks about picking a good niche, right? Just think about the companies or the industries that you want to work with, but who will also get the most value out of what you have to offer depending on what your service is, right? Different industries react differently to different offers. Like I'm not going to work with doctors or chiropractors because LinkedIn is not the best place for those people, right? So whatever the companies that are going to get the most value, that's who you should put into your ideal customer profile.
How crazy is it, guys? Everyone watching, we had an interview last week with Joel Markos, who you know, who went from 15 to 60K. What was the number one thing they opened with? Get really hyper specific on your customer. ICP, ideal client avatar, I don't care, niche the niche, whatever you want to call it, guys. Just think about this. We talk about it all the time. It's because it's like the number one most important thing you can do outside of knowing what the hell you're going to sell, right? Like, I mean, and even then I would argue that you need to know what your niche and your ideal company is, and then you need to come up with your product or service to serve that niche or that industry, you know, even more so. So yeah, I'm not surprised to see that. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'll talk about a few ways that you can build your ICP, but basically, this is the outline here. This is what we use for ourselves, again, and also for our clients. When we're onboarding a new client, we have them go through this and really get targeted. It blows my mind how many companies, even like the multi-million-dollar SaaS companies that we work with, do not have a clear ideal customer profile. It literally blows my mind. So here's an example from our agency. From our agency. The industries that we want to serve in this example as our primary target market, or ICP, is B2B SaaS. The geography or location, USA, Australia, New Zealand, UK, Canada. The size, we want companies that are in the 10 to 50 employee size, because we know companies in that size are in the revenue range of $1 to $10 million. The budget, we ideally like to start our packages at $3,000 a month. We sometimes offer discounts to startups and smaller companies, but we're looking for companies that can invest that much or who are already investing that much in their marketing. Decision makers, so there's the CEO, the founder, CMO, the VP of marketing, VP of sales or biz dev. These are the people that you're going to be reaching out to in the companies that you're targeting, right? So it could be the owner, or if you're targeting small businesses, it would probably be the owner or the president, whatever that title is. Pain points. So this is important. List out the pain points that your market is suffering from. So our specific pain points for our market is, number one, they're not generating enough high quality leads. Number two, they're spending too much time on prospecting and data research tasks. And number three, they don't have time or budget to spend building and training a large in-house sales development or business development fast results. Yeah, now, I didn't just guess on pain points. Go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was just finish your pain points, but before you move to business objectives, I want to say something. Finish what you're saying about how you didn't guess.
Yeah, so I did not guess on these pain points. This comes from either A, studying your market. You can look at your competitors, look at reviews off of like things, similar products or services or competitors that your market is buying from, and look at their complaints, look at the things that they're saying, right? You don't want to guess on this. You want to talk to your market and figure out what their pain points are, because this goes into your copy and your messaging.
100%. And it's not enough to just say not getting enough leads or customers, right? Like that's, oh yeah, no shit. That's you know, a problem. But like you need to be able to layer it and take it deeper and really speak to the market, knowing what they need. You need to act as if they need to think that you know everything about them, right, ahead of time. And so every single market has specific pain points, and almost all the people inside that market feel that pain because it's part of that grouping, right? So you notice how he went multiple layers deep. This is something I always talk about as well. It's so important to know your market. And again, not getting enough new customers, that's just surface level crap. You know what I mean? That's surface level. That's like saying, oh, why am I not happy? It's like, well, there's a million reasons why, you know, we got to dig deeper. You know what I mean? So I wanted to jump in on that because that's fantastic. You got it written down because that's what you got to do.
Yep. So that's super important. You're not going to have this, like, especially if you're just starting out, you're going to need to talk to some people. You're going to need to do some research on your own. This comes from talking to your market and learning about them, right? So there's another reason why you want to have, at least when you're starting, a clear ICP and a clear niche focus when you first get into the game. Business objectives. So I like to break this down in short-term and long-term. Based on the B2B SaaS market, in the short term, what they want to do is they want to grow their customer base in the next 2 to 3 months. In the long term, what do they want to do? They want to raise more funding to grow their company. They want to make key hires and grow their team. They want to expand their current offering. They want to grow their company so that they can make a big exit one day. This is specific to the software market, right? So I like to list it out, short-term, long-term goals. Again, this goes into your messaging and your copy. So very powerful if you list this out. Notable attributes. These are specific things about my market and your market that you want to list out, that you're going to look for in your research and in your prospecting. I'm going to show you a tool that you can just plug all this stuff in and instantly have it pop out your ideal customers and ideal companies right when you pop all this stuff in. Okay. So notable attributes. I don't want companies that are selling a $5 a month SaaS product, right? I want companies that have enterprise opportunities, or they're selling a $6,000 or more customer lifetime value, because I know I can provide them a return on investment with my service if they're selling a price tag of that much, right? I also want to work with a funded SaaS or startup that has, again, they have funding, right? They're not broke. They're not like about to go bankrupt or something, right? They have money. They can pay for me. They can pay on growing their team and their company. Number 3 is growth focused. So they believe in marketing and sales. So this could be they're hiring for marketing or sales roles. This is very easy, especially for me to see and for you to see on LinkedIn. You can look for, just different job opportunities and make a list of those. And I want to see people who are spending money on advertising, right? So these are the things that I'm looking for when I'm searching for my ideal customers and my ideal prospects.
Love it.
Now, creating an ICP is going to give you supreme clarity on your message and your targeting. So do not skip this. I know like in the beginning, it's hard. You want to target all these markets. If you can't narrow it down to, 1, pick 2, maybe 3 at max. But the more that you spread yourself out, the tougher it is to really learn your messaging and get this down. Now, once you create your ICP, you can jump into these prospecting tactics that we're going to cover now. Number 1 is the profile makeover. There's 3 key areas here that you need to optimize. There's many more that you can optimize, but in order to turn your profile into a landing page and a mini website, a mini sales letter, these are the 3 main areas you need to optimize: your profile photo, your headline, your summary, right? So the profile photo, why do you want to optimize this? Whenever you comment, whenever you show up in a news feed, whether it's liking, messaging someone, commenting on a post, you're going to show up with your picture and your headline right next to it wherever you show up, whether that's a message, comment, like, whatever it is. Just have a simple photo. Doesn't need to be like super clear, professional headshot. Like mine is here is pretty grainy. You just want to make it look like you didn't just roll out of bed, professional, like you're smiling. And I'm going to go over the headline in just a second here, right? So the headline, simple headline formula. I'm sure you've seen this everywhere if you're on LinkedIn. I help or helping the target marketer industry to the value you provide and by, using, or through how you do it. Okay, so very simple. If you don't have this, if you have CEO or owner or president on your profile, I highly recommend you change it to something like this that speaks to your target market, because you'll have a lot more people that are reaching out to you once you do the connector campaign, which you're going to show in tactic number 3. Here's my example, and here's a quick hack. If you edit the headline on your phone, not the computer, you can actually add a lot more characters to this. So you can see mine actually put in a bunch of keywords as well. So helping SaaS sales teams generate leads and customers through LinkedIn and cold email. So you know who my market is, you know what I do, and you know who I serve and how I serve them, right? All these like founder, growth response, done for you prospecting, SaaS lead generation, SaaS sales, LinkedIn marketing, cold email copy. You're going to show up in the search results for LinkedIn when people search for these things if they're in your headline and your profile. And the only way to add more characters is if you do it on your phone. So that's a quick hack. I mean, it's worked for this whole year, so I'm pretty sure it's still working. They haven't removed my headline here. So give that a try if you haven't yet. Your headline should be customer-centric, because people don't care about you or your company. They care about themselves, right? So make it about them. Very simple.
People don't care about your company or you. You got to say that till I'm blue in the face. As Shawn knows, inside the program, we talk about the videos and the video sales letters and stuff. The biggest mistake I see with most video sales letters, and really cold email in general, is like they're always talking about what you can do. And I work with these companies. No one gives a shit. What are you going to do for them, right? That headline was sick. One thing I'd be interested in, Shawn, I didn't realize that you could hack it and get a longer one. Playing around with doing without the things they hate. You know what I mean? So you've got like I can help you through this without doing all the shit that you hate. I'd be curious to see that as well, because that's like, the best way to run a webinar headline and landing page copy for these things. So the only reason I haven't gone over or shown that inside the program is because I didn't realize you could even do this hack. But that would be something I'd be curious about, just looking at the headline, because if we can remove the things they hate, like, oh man, this guy could be perfect. It might be something we're testing. You're killing it. I don't want to tell you how to do it, but it's something to think about for anyone watching, because again, one of the best headlines you can do in the world is how are you going to do it? How are you going to help them? How are you going to do it? And then can you remove the things that they hate? And then they're going to be interested,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is just one way. I named it the simple headline formula because there's so many ways to do it, right?
I'm not trying to pick it apart. It's beautiful. Yeah. I love it. I'm just thinking, I just didn't know you could have that much room in the headline. That's sick. That's a sick tactic. I don't do that.
Do it on your phone. Do it on your phone.
I love it.
So that's the headline. Again, very simple. Try to keep it very focused on your customer, your target market, make it about them. Profile summary. Now, I'm not going to read out my summary. You guys can go to my profile and see exactly how I laid it out. But basically what you want to do is answer these questions. You want to answer the question of who you serve, what problems you solve, how you solve them, show that you have empathy or some kind of authority. Like maybe you've been there before. Maybe you feel their pain. Maybe you're an agency owner. I know how it feels not to have any leads or appointments. That's how I know. That's how I created my service, right? So show some empathy. Be there with them. Show that you feel their pain, and then have some next steps and a clear call to action, right? So I have it here. Nick, I'll just send you this. I don't know if you want this presentation or anything, but I'll just send you a copy at the end. And you can look at my summary as well if you guys want to model after that. Number two, tactic number two is the perfect prospect list. So there's two different ways to do this. One is manually. I do both ways. The manual way is Sales Navigator plus a tool called Phantom Buster. I don't know if you've heard of that before, Nick. It's kind of like it automates a lot of the tasks that you would do. Like I can extract a ton of data from LinkedIn for a really small fee, as well as LinkedIn groups and Facebook groups and Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. So it's like an automation tool. I think it's $30 a month or so. The fully automated way to do this is either through LeadFuse or UpLead. And I'm going to show you a screenshot of the data you get with that. Now, UpLead or LeadFuse, it ranges from around $150 to $250 a month, and you get 1,000 prospects with their email, LinkedIn, all that kind of data that you can just plug into the tools that I'm going to show you here. Now, either whatever option you choose, you need to have Sales Navigator regardless in order to run the campaign at scale and not get flagged by LinkedIn. Now, manual, if you want to do it the manual way, this is just a short example. You're going to have to filter the list if you want, like manually have yourself or a VA do it, because LinkedIn isn't 100% perfect. But let's just say I want to target people who are B2B SaaS founders or co-founders in California, Nevada, Oregon, Washington. I just throw it up into LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I only like to connect with people who are second degree connections because you get a higher connection response rate. And you also get less people who are flagging you like they don't know you, right? Which enough of those can get you kind of suspended from LinkedIn.
Yeah, I've been suspended a few times.
Yeah, it's tricky. I've been suspended once for a day, and it was because of that. I had too many people marking me as they didn't know me.
Yeah, I had like 9,000 unconnected or unresponded connections or something like that. One of the times I got shadow banned.
Yeah, you want to have not more than 1,500 at draw them if you need to, but that's what I keep it as. You don't want to have more than 1,500 pending invites at a time. So this is a manual way to do it, an automated way. So this is UpLead. Basically what you can do here is set the industry, title. Again, this is what comes back to the ICP. If you know your industry, the title that you're going after, the location, the revenue range, the employee size, you can just get this data at the click of a button once you filter it down using a tool like UpLead. You can then export this all, and then you get a list, a CSV just like this with their emails, all this information. I highlighted this LinkedIn column here because you're going to use it in the next step. Right there, perfect prospect magic. You have a list of 1,000 of your ideal customers, your ideal prospects right there that you can use for this campaign, which we're going to talk about next. So once you have this list of your perfect prospects, tactic number 3 is the automated connector. Again, there's a manual way you can do this or an automated way you can do this. The automated tool that we use is Orca. This is at $69 a month. Again, you need to have Sales Navigator regardless of what you're using. But Orca allows you to plug in all these highlighted LinkedIn profiles of all the people of your ideal prospects, your ideal customers into the tool, and then automatically connect with all of them. So you'll get the list from UpLead of all your criteria, your ideal customer profile. You'll get the list of all those LinkedIn profiles. You upload it into Orca, and then you can automatically connect and send them messages from there. So here we go. Once you upload them, connection automation. Simple as that. So I don't know if you're using that, Nick, but that's a cool little tactic I use to connect at scale with these people without having to manually go to their profile, click connect, go to the profile, click connect.
Yeah, I use some tools that we've got, but these ones look freaking sweet. Guys, what questions we have? Give a like if you like some of the stuff. This is insane. He's taking you in the behind the scenes of freaking, what's built multiple. Yeah, this is crazy. Like, I love this stuff, dude. Thank you so much for sharing this. This is crazy info and some awesome tools for you guys to check out. LinkedIn's still one of the most underutilized things. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that you might feel like you see, but if you can get creative and you're targeting, your ICA and you're targeting specific people, yeah, if you go in there and just put general dentist, you don't have any other explicit targeting, yeah, you're going to, run into what people have seen it a lot. But if you can get creative and you can know who you're targeting and you go after specific people with specific messaging, game over on there, game over.
Yep. And we segment our campaign by the ICP, right? So like you can see in the second campaign, I'm targeting VP or directors of sales at SaaS companies, company size 11 to 50. I will have a different message to that group of people as I do to the founder of the company, right? Because VP of sales, director of sales, they're not in the same, they don't have the same problems or pain points that a CEO or founder does, right? They're trying to hit their quota. They're trying to get more appointments. They're trying to get more leads. So my message to them, the way that I can personalize my messaging at scale is segmenting like this, and then creating a message, spending 20 minutes or so to create a message specific to them in the connection message.
I love that, and it's so powerful, and I'll give another example so that people can, really crystal clear, especially if they're focused on local business. What message do you think is going to work better when you connect with the dentist? If you're going after a dentist who does cosmetic dentist and works with veneers, and they say, hey, I help you generate new veneers things because I know that they've got veneer in their keywords in their profile, blah, 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 or the person who says, I'm going to get you new dental patients, which one is going to be more likely to them? The one with the veneers. That's just a simple example of it, right? But you can go so much deeper with this, and that's what we're talking about with like having specific messages, and things like that. David Watson has a quick question here I think is good. Has there been any problems with your choice of tools recently? He asked because JetBuzz has been shut down and Linked Helper is having issues.
Yeah, so I used to use JetBuzz. They didn't get shut down, but they're closed to the public, and they're like under a different name now or something. These tools, the Orca tool is good. It's more expensive because it's a cloud-based tool. It's not a Google extension like a Chrome extension. The Chrome extensions are a little more dangerous. So DuckSoup, Linked Helper, LinkedIn's cracking in on those. It's a lot easier for them to detect extensions that are being used. That's why I use Orca. It's more expensive, but it's a lot safer. It's similar to JetBuzz in that it's a cloud solution. So Orca is probably what I'd recommend most. It's useorca.com. And Uplead is completely fine. I think it's a cloud solution as well.
Cool. Appreciate that. Yep.
So once you get people into your network, one of the most powerful things you can do is get inbound leads, right? In addition to your outbound campaigns that I'm going to go over in tactic number five, is to get inbound leads through content. So there's 3 types of content that I like to post, and I just call this the content machine because I didn't know what else to call it. But the 3 types of content I like to post is curated content. This is valuable or useful, relevant information, relevant to your target market and your ICP. Short form status updates and long form status updates. I'll show you some examples of this in a second. Now, there's no point in having a large network of connections if you're not going to engage them, right? And it's very simple. I spend maybe 10 to 15 minutes a day just either posting a curated content piece, posting a short form status update, or a long form status update that's relevant and useful to my audience. It's not hard to do. If you build your network around your target market and you post content, LinkedIn right now is like, do you remember how Facebook business pages used to be when you would post something and you get 50% to 75% views?
Yeah.
That's how LinkedIn is right now. So
ooh, that's funny out there, man. I love it. That's a great thing to bring up. Back in the day, it used to be, so you can still hack Facebook and get organic traffic, but man, it used to be so much easier. Like, holy yeah.
So once you build your network, there's no reason you shouldn't be posting relevant content, right? If you built your network with docs, post stuff about, hey, this is the 5 best Facebook tactics for doctors or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff off the top of my head, but find curated content that's relevant to them. And I'm going to show you some other examples of short form and long form status updates. It doesn't need to be specific to the market. Like, for example, you can post something about chatbots and in the text here, say doctors should be using chatbots in 2019, right? You can spin content that's relevant, or that's more general in nature to your target market, to your ICP, right? So curated content is one thing. Short form status updates. So these come in the form of asking a question or providing like tips or quotes or anything that's helpful to your audience. So on the left here, I just asked the question, hey, what platform are you using? Cold emailers for the best outreach. On the right here is, these are 7 of my favorite sales automation and productivity tools for smashing sales goals. Just posting really simple posts, and you can see they get thousands of views, right? Every time you post, you'll get 1,000 or more views if you've built your connections in the right way. And you're going to have inbound leads coming into you every single month by doing this, right? Now, virality is also great for lead gen. You can see this post I made got 18,373 views of a video, 245 comments, 99 likes. And all of these people, my call to action in this post was to send me a message. So I had 200 messages or so. Actually, I had more than that of people who just viewed this video and wanted what I had to offer. So if you have a lead magnet, if you have a webinar, if you have some kind of content or lead magnet that gets them into your funnel, into your business or your company, you can post to LinkedIn and get great viewership there.
Wow.
Long form status updates. You probably can't see this, but again, relevant, useful to your audience. My audience is B2B SaaS companies. So I posted something about SaaS product demos and how to improve that. Basically like how to improve your sales pitch, right? So I spun things that I learned from you, Nick, basically on sales presentation, via sales, and applied it to the SaaS market, right? So always be thinking about how you can take something from one industry or someone else and spin it to another industry, because you never know how useful it can be to another industry who's never heard that information before, right?
I want to touch on that a second, because that is so absolutely powerful, and that's something I'm obsessed upon right now. Right now, I'm really digging into other industries, big business, big corporations. What can I do with them? Because I found we can all get so caught up in this little circle jerk of a ClickFunnels world. You know what I mean? Where it's just like one idea, and somebody hears something that one person says, and then they just go regurgitate it, and then they're coaching coaches who coach coaches who coach the last coach, right? And so like it's so good to pay attention to other industries, see what they're doing, learn from them. And then also, like you said, repurpose information. Because here's the thing about sales, guys, all this shit, in the program that works in everything. Hell, I'm going to be working with our doctors on the same exact principles that I go over in the program to help sell the doctors into the program, because it's all the same thing. It's the same thing on selling your wife on how to, do what you want her to do or whatever. You know what I mean? Like there's just so many ways that you can use these things and repurpose information. And just because it might seem like common sense in one industry, it certainly isn't in another. Right. And honestly, anything outside of Chiro, dental, mortgage, and real estate for Facebook ads specifically, that it's still like brand new to them. They haven't been hit nearly as hard as these other ones. Right. So it's new information, new stuff. So I want to hit on that because it's very important that we learn to observe all information, all business, and see what we can extract from it and learn from it in order to work in our current market. So I think that's awesome that you bring that up, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It blows my mind how much like the simplest things you think that people know, they're not, they either don't know, they're not implementing, right?
They don't know, and they're certainly not implementing even if they do know. It's crazy, especially most business owners, even you're working in a bigger enterprise level stuff, and they're still not doing this shit right. It's crazy.
Yep. Now, here's why you want to first optimize your profile for your ICP and get it really tailored to your target market. It's like a landing page. You get thousands of your ideal customers and prospects viewing your profile. And if you have a call to action in there, whether that's to schedule a call, watch a webinar, download a white paper, whatever it is, you get thousands of organic free traffic every single week, every single month that you're not paying for, that are reaching out to you. And I'll break down some of the metrics at the end of what we're seeing on our end. But that's how you should be thinking of your LinkedIn profile, is like a mini website, a mini sales letter, a mini landing page, right? Now the appointment generator. This is when we turn connections into interested leads and appointments. Here's the way that we do it. And again, we follow up. I didn't have enough time to add all the email stuff into this presentation, but this is just the LinkedIn portion. So this is 50% of our whole process. What we're doing here is twice a month, we have that connection campaign going every single day, and twice a month we export our LinkedIn connections. And I'll send you a link if you need to know how to do that, Nick. It's pretty easy. You can export them. LinkedIn gives you a full CSV of all your connections. We export those. We put them into a simple Google sheet that I'll give to you as well, and then we message them weekly using a multi-touch point sequence.
Man, yeah, dude, this is dope. I love it. Yeah.
So why LinkedIn messaging? There's three main reasons, right? First of all, it's a warmer approach. You can follow up via email after you've messaged them and LinkedIn, right? So number two, you build your personal network and you give the opportunity for inbound leads through your content marketing, through your posts, whatever it is. You have thousands of prospects in your network if you're building your network in the right way every single month. You also have a 100% delivery rate. So every single message you send on LinkedIn is going to get delivered, right? Every single message you send on email is not going to get delivered, right? You're going to get a 20, 30 to 40% open rate or even less, right? Sometimes even less. So that's the challenge that we had when we first started, was we were ramping up with cold email, sending out thousands of cold emails a week, and we would get appointments, but the prospects were being wasted. Everyone that didn't reply, anyone who didn't open an email, anyone who it didn't get delivered to, we were wasting them, and we didn't know what to do with them because we had thousands and thousands of ideal prospects that we were wasting. So we thought, why not put them through a LinkedIn sequence first, build our network, build the potential for, inbound leads with their ideal customers, and then follow up with email. So that's the way we do it. That's the way we segment it.
And it's also so powerful to go multi-channel, hit from different angles, hit them omnipresence, man, be everywhere. We do have a quick question here before we get too much further. In regards to the exporting of contacts, are you still able to do that? I heard they took away the ability to export emails from LinkedIn.
They did take that ability away to get the emails. Now there's tools that you can use to get those as well. We just have a VA that does it, that just goes through a list whenever we export it. It's around, we export maybe 350 to 400 connections a month total. So it's not that much. We're just exporting those. You can use a tool like Find That Lead, Hunter.io, or you can just hire a VA to do it. They just enrich it with the emails based on the first name, last name, and company. So LinkedIn did take that ability away. So it's a little bit tougher, but you can still do it for sure.
Cool. Love it.
Now, I'll send you some examples of messaging scripts as well. I didn't want to put them all in here, but this is our 5-step messaging framework, starting with the connection message and then rolling out to the follow-up messages that are sent out weekly. So the first 2 messages are sent out via Orca. Orca doesn't send out any additional messages after the connection message and the post-connection message. So we have a personalized IP connection message at scale. So if that's a B2B SaaS company, it might be, hey, so-and-so, hey, Nick, saw that you're a founder of XYZ company in the SaaS space, would love to connect and share insights if you're open to it. Saw that we had mutual connections as well. So in the connection message, we don't like to pitch because on the social side of things, it's different than a cold email, right? You're trying to introduce yourself into their network and people don't want to be pitched right away. You're going to get people who accept even if you do pitch, but you're going to ruin the conversation from there. You're going to have lots of time to pitch down in these follow-up messages here. So the first connection message is just getting them to click yes on your profile. The second thing is just thanking them for connecting. Thanks for connecting so-and-so. I promise to be valuable, interesting, and useful. And hopefully, I'll get to learn more about you and your company in the future. Message number 3 is providing value. So there's 2 different ways that we do this. When we first started, we didn't have a lot of content created, right? So we would provide value in the form of, hey, have you tried this? Have you tried X, Y, and Z? If not, I'd love to hop on a call and show you a way that we can help you out. So for example, hey, have you tried using LinkedIn and cold email to generate sales leads for your SaaS company? If not, I'd love to hop on a phone and show you some insights that might be useful to you, right? The John Logar style. Yeah. If you have content, if you have a white paper, a webinar, something like that, it's the same type of, again, I'll send you some templates, but it's the same type of template, just providing value in the form of, hey, I have a webinar, a white paper, something, a lead magnet that would be helpful to you and your company, and send them the link. It's simple as that. The 4th step is the ask. So this is when we're asking them to hop on a call. So, hey, hope you enjoyed X, Y, and Z content. Would love to know if solving X problem is a priority for you right now. If it is, would you be interested in hopping on a call? That's all it is. And then the follow-up is just, hey, so-and-so, any thoughts on my last message? So very simple messaging framework here. And our tracking sheet, I'll send this to you as well, Nick. It's just we're tracking the first name, last name, company, title. We export the emails from our VA or the Find That Lead tool. We label the ICP, and then we have the links to both their profile and their messaging link and whether we sent message 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. This is pretty much what we use, a tracking sheet here. Metrics that matter. Every single month, we're running 1,000 prospects through this. We're getting around a 30% average connection rate, 300 connections, 14% reply to a messaging campaign, and 50% of those who reply book a call. This comes out to around 21 appointments a month from the LinkedIn outreach portion alone, and another 4 to 5 hot leads that come in through appointments every single month through our content and just viewing our profile. So these are the types of metrics that we're looking for. Again, if you're just starting out, you're going to need to tweak things, get your messaging on point, right? We didn't just come out the gate with these kind of stats, but the beauty of this is once you cycle everyone through these connections here, they didn't respond or they didn't say no thanks, you then pop them into a cold email campaign. There you go. You have 4, 5, 6 more follow-up points through cold email.
Love it, man. Quick question on the metrics that matter. Once because obviously everything takes time to optimize, profile, build out, messaging, tweak. Now that you've got something dialed in and you know your numbers here, how much time does it take you to oversee this every month?
So I'm not spending much time at all because we have a VA that's focused strictly on this. We pay them $350 an hour or something like that.
There you go. Boom.
And they're managing this sheet here. right? So that twice a month, they're exporting the list of LinkedIn connections. They're just tagging people in here, whether they sent message 1, 2, or 3. Any notes, like maybe they said don't contact them again, we'll mark them in here. And we just have a VA that's on our profile managing this for us.
Love it. So you basically just have appointments. So you're talking 25 to 30 extra appointments every month. You just get to run. And you got a machine. That's the goal. You got to build a prospecting machine. I always talk about this. It's a core of, what we go over in the Crusaders. You got to build a machine so you can get automated, consistent process. It's the only way to scale and grow a business. You want to reach 6 figures, guys. You want to reach mid 6 figures. You have to build a machine. You have to know and have consistent, reliable prospecting. So I love this, dude. This has been an amazing presentation.
Yeah, and a quick note on that. Like, everyone always talks about scaling, right? Talks about automation. Like, automation is amazing. I love automation. You love automation. Everyone fucking loves automation, right? But you can't scale a broken machine. So before you think about scaling, right? Like, try this out yourself first. See how people are reacting before you hire anyone. Before you do anything, just spend 1 month or so running this campaign just one time, right? Just spend 1 month doing that. That's what I did, right? Have a little bit of patience. You can have your cold email campaigns running in the background if you want to do that and just have both things running. But to learn this, to learn to do it on your own, to learn your market and learn what resonates, run it by yourself before automating anything. Like, you can automate the connection message and that kind of stuff, like the monotonous stuff. But like, before hiring a VA and all that stuff, do this yourself. Make sure that you understand the process, understand your market, and then scale up what works, right?
That's so strong in almost every level of business, guys. You want to understand the system that you're creating. It's very difficult to hire people to solve your problems. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. You got to be real fucking big and have a big ass salary if you're going to expect to hire people and they're going to build the machines for you. Our job as entrepreneurs is to build the machine and to build what it is and then put people in place to run the machine. So I love that. And Alex, yeah, man, we'll get this up in the private Crusaders group for sure with from Shawn here. So we'll definitely get that set up. He's already offered that. So we'll get it up in the private group for sure.
Awesome. So key takeaways, just the things that we covered. Number 1, optimize your LinkedIn profile. Start with your profile photo, your headline, and your summary, right? The profile should serve as a customer-centric landing page, not as a resume, not talking about yourself in third person, not talking about hazy. It should be a landing page. So think about it like ClickFunnels or whatever doctors or their patients are clicking on when they land. It needs to be similar to that. So when someone clicks on your profile, they read it like, holy shit, I need to reach out to this guy, right? That's how it should read. Number 2, take advantage of Sales Navigator's ability to filter your exact ICP. Now, if you're using UpLead, you can pay for that. You can pay to automate a lot of that process where you're getting your ideal customer profile, but take advantage of that. Take advantage of the tools that you have at your disposal. There's so many tools that take care of the dirty work for you, right? For less than $100, $150 a month. You can build lists of 1,000 of your perfect prospects every single month for less than $150. If you can't afford $150 to get 1,000 of your perfect prospects, like, I don't know, you're going to have to get a job or something.
Yeah, you should probably, yeah.
You probably be able to afford that. So,
or be willing to invest and bet on yourself and pull it. Yeah, never mind.
Exactly. So number 3 is automate the process of connecting with 50 to 75 of your perfect prospects every day with a tool like, Duck Soup, Linked Helper. I created this guide like a couple weeks ago, and LinkedIn actually recently started cracking down on these 2 here. So I would recommend Orca, which is a little more expensive, but it's a cloud solution. Be careful with automation. Stay within the safe limits. Don't go above 75 connection requests every day. Don't push it to its limit because LinkedIn will slap you and kick you off their platform if you abuse it too much. Number 4, build your trust, credibility, and thought leadership by posting useful curated content, short-form status updates, and long-form status updates. This is going to result in inbound leads. We get around 4 to 5 hot leads every single month that are reaching out to us. Hot leads meaning they literally message me and say, hey, when can we hop on a call? Can we hop on a call later today? Because I've been following you, I've been reading your content, and I think we're ready to get started right now. I need to know what we can do to get started, right? So we have 4 to 5 of those every single month. And if you're posting content, it's very simple to do. You can even hire someone to do that. You're going to build your trust and credibility and make that sales process a lot shorter and a lot easier for yourself. Number 5, turn connections into interested leads, appointments, and high-ticket sales opportunities using a multi-touch point messaging campaign. And you can use a simple Google Sheet like the one I covered to track your campaign. Don't need to get all complicated. That's literally what we use for ourselves and our clients to just track the prospects, track who we were messaging before we roll it into the cold email campaign. So Nick, I know I just talked a shitload.
I love it, man. Guys, this was literally like, I mean, just for if anyone jumped on late, make sure you go back and watch this replay, because this was the exact strategies that Shawn's used to get over 50 appointments and 13 new clients in the last 2 months alone. 13 new clients in the B2B SaaS place. You know, a market that people would think would be hard to get into. How do you get in touch with those guys? Look, guys, opportunities everywhere. And he shared so much good stuff on this call, man. I didn't realize you're going to go this in depth. This is huge, dude. This is freaking amazing, man. Guys, what questions do we have? I see one here from Nick. But thank you, man, Shawn. Before I jump into the questions, that was incredible. This is one of the better ones I've ever seen on here. There's so much good information here. This is like freaking killer, dude. I love what you built here, man. This is awesome. So Nick's asking, how often do you put out content?
So I started just doing it maybe 2 times a week. Now I would say it's more 3, sometimes 4 times a week. And basically what I do is I just chunk it out. So maybe like every time around 5 p.m., I'm pretty much like not working at that time. So I'll spend like maybe 1 day out of the week after I'm done doing all my like revenue generating stuff, where I'm sending out emails and jumping on calls, all that stuff. Typically in the evening, I'll just take an hour, hour and a half, and I'll write out some status updates for the week. Then I'll just post it. I set a time to post every day and then just post it at that time. So I'm not just sitting down every day and setting out time to create the status updates. I'll typically set 1 day out of the week where I just focus on it at that time, create a bunch of status updates, 3 or 4 of them, and then just post it on those days.
That's awesome, man. I love it. Guys, chunking is so important. You guys are going to be hearing a lot from me in this group. The people inside the private group hear it from me a ton. But focus, how to structure your day, how to goal set, and how to work towards one thing and not be bouncing around like ADD, freaking neurotic, you know, just craziness that we all are, is going to be huge. I'm going to be bringing a lot more conversations. I love that you brought up chunking, because that's a little simple hack right there that can save so much time, because it can feel overwhelming. And if you have to do it every day and it's 15 minutes a day and what am I going to write? It's like, boom, just sit down, bang it out, move on, right? Chunk it out, get it done. I love it, man. Let's see here. Alex has a good question. Nicole, what's up? Paul, awesome. I'm glad you guys got some good stuff here. Alex's question, where can we find relevant content if we're not very creative?
So did he say what his market is, or his niche?
Yeah, Alex, what's your market, man? We'll go live and drop some things. I'm down to, you know, cycle this one as well. But one of the biggest ways to find, so I think it's, what is it, BuzzSumo? I think that's one of the best platforms, Alex, to find the content that's like really going viral and going crazy. And if it's going viral and going crazy, people are interested in it. So like that's really where you can get great ideas for headlines. That's one of the best things to go if you're looking to write articles, do things of that nature. Just go out there and mimic what's already going viral, especially if at the beginning you're not very creative, because what happens is over time you start to understand what's going to work, right? It's the same thing with marketing, sales, all this stuff. At the beginning, just go model success, you know, but again, the modeling is only going to get you so far. Eventually you're going to want to push the edge, but you know, go use something like BuzzSumo, one of those tools, to see what's going viral right now is one of the first places I would start.
Yeah. Look up. So the things I like to do, I like to look at competitors or people who are serving my market and who aren't competitors. So it could be either one of those. For example, like there's other software companies that sell to software companies, and they post stuff for, like, they sell chatbots and stuff like that, right? So like, for example, I don't know if you know what ManyChat is, right? They post content on how to do like chatbot marketing and stuff like that. So you can take their content and post it on your profile and repurpose it along whatever your niche is and say, hey, here's how doctors should be using chatbots to get more patients, right? So look at competitors, look at industry leading blogs. So anything that they're reading, your market is reading, again, just live in your niche, figure out what they are doing on a daily basis, like what they're reading, what they're watching, and then you'll know like what kind of content to post. Somehow always have it tied back to you. But yeah, you'll have a better idea if you look at competitors, look at your industry publications, that kind of stuff.
That's always the best place to start, Alex. Nick's asking a question. He's asking this one for me, Shawn. He said, I heard you mention a few months ago you were going to test running multiple LinkedIn pages for multiple niches. Any luck with that? Are you having individuals, like people on your team, use their own profiles on behalf of your company? Yeah, so that's a great question, Nick. So what happened was I hired some sales appointment generators, and they didn't work out. And so, like, let's just say it didn't work out. One of them was was one main one that was going to be the beginning of that, and I was going to be running multiple different profiles mainly for him. And he had some complaints from some people on the staff, so we had to axe them real quick. And then we were closing at such a high rate that we really, dialed back on it. So that is still something I'm fully interested in doing, Nick, but that plan was in motion for a while. We're getting a ton of appointments. LinkedIn's killer. I can pull up my linked hub from, it still see a million responses. I'm still getting responses to this day on some of the campaigns that we have running that, haven't even been doing super aggressively recently, because we put our focuses on other markets and activities right now as we've scaled down a little bit. But that's something that's still coming and still out there, man. I know people are getting deals on LinkedIn every single day, and I can pull them up. I just got one back the other a couple days ago from somebody on LinkedIn who were moving towards demo and booking a call, and I barely put any focus on it at this point because I'm doing a lot of other stuff at this thing. But it is such a huge opportunity out there, and it's something I'm going to be revisiting when I go bring in. I'm going to bring in multiple salespeople at once coming up here in the next month or two, and that's going to be one of their main focuses.
Yep. Some people try to do too many things at once. I'd say always start with one. There's power in one, right? Like if you can't get one of them to work, you don't want to do 10 of them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we're in a unique situation that is tough for people to get, but I have a tendency to sell too many clients too fast, too often, literally broken the agency through some of our advertising means. So when I was getting ready to scale it up again with the salespeople, we also realized that, anyone who's been following us for a while knows about our little call floor expenditure, which really threw some shakeups into some of our fulfillment. So I couldn't really bring on and sell 30 new clients a month. So we had to tame that down to 12 to 15, which I'm not mad about, a good 50, 60, $70,000 recurring revenue, not bad. So, with that, we put that on pause a little bit, Nick, so to answer your question. But yeah, I'm a big fan of getting really good at one thing and trying not to do everything for everybody. Choose a lane. There's a million ways to prospect, guys, a million. Custom videos, the LinkedIn strategies, cold emails, mass cold emails, short cold emails, networking events, BNI, Instagram DM messages, Facebook ads, all this stuff. Get really good at one thing. I got really good at, videos and custom email and combining the two. Boom. Now we're really good at running inbound Facebook ads, and I can run custom videos and send video messages to people. There's so much stuff you can do that's out there that you just pick one and just get really good at it. And don't give up. That's the thing. I'm sure that the first time you threw this stuff out there, Shawn, you didn't just print cash, right? It probably took some.
Yeah, you should see. So remember this, I didn't officially start cold outreach. I worked with two people in the health space, helping them with their Facebook ads when I first met you.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done any cold outreach before that, which is in May of this year. So I haven't been doing this a very long time at all. It's taken, a few months to get everything tuned in, but this is just, once you find something that's working, it's very easy to kind of scale up what works. So that's why I say do things on your own before you scale and automate.
100% agree on that because you got to understand the process. But yeah, who wouldn't spend a couple months building a system that's spitting out 13 clients over the last 2 months and 50 appointments? How many people watch this would be happy with that, guys? So sometimes it does take some dedication going all in. I applaud you, man. This is freaking awesome. Awesome. Let's see here. Alvin has a question. This is a good one. I like this. Do you ever do warm calls to people you have sent message to that have looked at the message but who didn't respond?
So this is actually something I have been doing, but not calls. LinkedIn has a pretty cool feature where you can just send a voice message to them. I've just been sending voice messages. So if they look like a good prospect and they haven't said no thanks or F off or anything, sometimes I don't always do this, but if I look at their profile and I'm like, oh, this guy looks really, really solid, I'll just send them a short voice message and say, hey, Nick, saw that. I don't know if you got my last message or so, but we're doing X, Y, and Z. Love to know if this is a priority for you right now. And if so, maybe we should hop on a call. And that actually gets a pretty decent response rate because people aren't used to getting those voicemail messages through LinkedIn.
I love it, man. Yeah, any way you can get in front of them, that's friggin' sweet. That's smart. That's awesome. And Alvin, I would recommend, especially if you're going after the types of people Shawn's going with, I would imagine that you would have a pretty good success rate if you combined in a shock and awe package. We're talking big clients, right? You want to make sure these guys are going to spend 10, 20, 30 grand a month, be 6-figure contracts. But if you threw a shock and awe package, if you combine that with a phone call in, that's how you get down to the big guys, right? It really is how you connect with them. The big guys aren't usually trolling Facebook. And I was just talking about that with someone today. Hey, trust me, don't get me wrong. We've made millions off Facebook and selling local businesses. But if you're going after enterprise, big clients, some of these strategies, older school strategies, combined with a new LinkedIn messaging can really work and convert.
Yeah, I mean, no, it doesn't even have to be enterprise. So if you're going after doctors, if you're going after small businesses too, like so we have clients that are like SaaS clients that sell to the S&D market. That's actually our sweet spot, is SaaS companies who are selling to company sizes of 50 to 1,000, right?
Mhm.
They respond very well. Like enterprise is actually the toughest market that we go after to get a response rate. The smaller companies respond very well. So if you're targeting doctors, small businesses, home remodelers, home services, anything, they'll respond to you on LinkedIn. It's just the way that we're using it is to acquire customers and appointments. That's all we're doing it for.
Yep. I love it, man. This has been so good. Luke, you're the boss, bro. Luke, we got to get you on one of these things, man. Luke says that you're the man, Shawn. Yeah, we're gonna get you on here, Luke. But man, Shawn, any last words, dude? I appreciate you coming on so much, sharing so much of your strategy. I didn't really even expect this. You gave an amazing presentation. For anyone who's jumped on late here, like go rewatch this one. This one's freaking insane. I mean, laid out 13 clients in 2 months, laid out exactly how to do it. You know, you can't really. I mean, it's crazy. I love this community. I love the people in. Dude, Shawn, you're a killer inside the program. Thanks for coming out and sharing all this stuff with the free group here, man. But any last words? Anything you want to share with people who are, you know, looking to, you know, get more clients? Anything about building an agency, you know, because I know you've had some ups and downs. Anything you want to share with them?
So overwhelm is real, right? So that's why I keep saying, like you said, chunking is one thing, right? So as much as you can, try to put as many of the tasks that might be spread out into one day or one chunk of time. That's one thing to kind of reduce overwhelm, right? Another thing is focus. So one niche, one service, or one core service or offering. Don't offer web design, Facebook ads, landing pages, funnels, all that stuff when you start. Just pick one thing, and it makes your message that much cleaner. One niche, one ideal customer profile. Start with that.
One problem.
Yeah, one problem.
One
Exactly.
niche, one step, boom. Yep.
Yeah, so start with one. That was the biggest thing for me, at least, was because when I was in e-commerce and everything fell to shit, it was because I did well in drop shipping, and then I thought I could start a supplement store, and then I thought I could private label a bunch of different supplements and do a bunch of different things at once. It just didn't work out. So the power of one, it's powerful. Like if you focus on one thing, one business model, one offering, all that stuff.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that people get caught up. I know I did, so maybe I'm alone in this. But like when you first get into business, one of the things that scares you is you for some reason we make it up in our head that we need like all these different types of customers. We need to hit everybody because we all grew up with the big brands and the Nikes and, you know, the people that were pounding us. So it seemed huge and is like, we don't understand. Like you need 100 people to give you $1,000 to make 100 grand, right? Yep. And if we're working in stuff like this, you need 30 people, 25 people to give you 30 people to give you $3 grand to make over $1 million a year. Like that's it. 30 people. 30. Like that's not very many people. You can be real fucking specific. Like, and when that really connected for me, I was just like, you know, because I used to think, oh, I got to be everything to everybody. It's like, no, solve one good problem. You can make a hell of a lot of money, and you do better for the client as well because you know them intimately, you know everything they're going through, and you can really solve their problems.
Yep. I'm planning on opening a Facebook group as well that's just focused specifically on prospecting with LinkedIn. And
love it.
So, you know, I don't know if that'd be helpful to you or your group in the future, but
we'll bring you back on, dude. As soon as you open that thing up, let me know. We'll get people in there for you. I'll help push it for you, man. Love it. This is great stuff. This has been so amazing. Dude, thank you so much for coming on. It's been awesome. It's still the coolest thing in the world that you found it linked in, or through Instagram. Like I didn't even realize it. I saw your email link. I'm like, damn, I didn't even know that link was still up. That's what's up. Awesome. You know, he's in the program. Let's go. You know, and it's been so sweet meeting you and then hearing the stories and some of the messages you sent me about really blasting off, dude. Clearly, I understand why you're a fucking killer and a gangster with this thing. I love it, dude. So thank you so much for coming on, and we'll have you back when you're getting ready to open that group, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man. And I'll send you the deck by tomorrow.
You got it, brother. You got it, man. Everyone else, have a wonderful holiday. I'll be back late next week. I'll be posting in the group, obviously, but this is this week's live. Next week, we'll be back after the holidays. Hope everyone has an amazing holiday with the family, all that good stuff. And we'll be back soon. Later, guys.
All right, Nick.